démater. Je viens de démater, c'est la loose. C'est l'Isère. C'est une l'Isère. Il y a tout qui est en vrac. C'est la l'Isère.
It's Friday the 31st of January in the Vendée Globe, the skipper's 82nd day at sea. And while we've seen those two arrivals in Les Sables, both Boris Herrmann and Sam Davies, who we will hear from shortly, for Arnaud Boissières it was a dismasting in the North Atlantic. And we saw him there looking understandably very upset. After we hear from both Boris and Sam, we take a look at the LibertyKite that Arnaud has deployed to keep himself moving. We then hear from Conrad Coleman, Kojiro Shiraishi, take a look at the tracker, the leaderboard, and then the PredictWind routing options for Damien Seguin in 15th place, who is part of this group from 15th to 22nd, which is so close. And then we hear from Oliver Heer.
Yeah, I'm very relieved, happy to be back in the world after isolation. And it was a very particular wake-up. Pierre Casiraghi just jumped in my bunk when I was deeply asleep, and he brought Jimmy Spitchell with him, and I didn't know. So that was a very nice morning celebration we had here. The channel was amazing, so many people cheering, great energy. So the Vendée Globe at its best again.
It's your second Vendée Globe.
Yeah, I think there are less than 100 people that have done two. So I'm very proud to manage to finish 2 times.
Tell us about your feelings now.
Just really happy to be here after I've waited for this moment since 2009. It's my 4th Vendée Globe, and so it's the 2nd time I'm finishing, and just incredible. And I think the harder it is to get here, the more you appreciate the finish. And the last few days have been really, really tough in some massive winter storms. And I'm really proud of how the boat behaved in those conditions, because it was pretty full on. So yeah, incredible, and frustrated with the results. I would have preferred to finish higher up in the results, but I made some mistakes and I had some issues just really in wrong moments in terms of weather windows and stuff. So I know where I went wrong and why that happened. And although the results weren't there, the competition was there, and it was just incredible. And it was great racing with a group, so close to the other boats the whole time. And to start with Boris, Justin, and Clarisse, and then with Clarisse and Benj at the end. And it was just such an amazing race, and so cool to be able to push the boat 100% from start to finish with boats so close all the time. So yeah, I've got no regrets. It's just an amazing race, an amazing adventure.
Once Arnaud Boissières had secured la Mie Câline in the Atlantic Ocean, he deployed LibertyKite, which is powering his Imoca forwards at a few knots. Developed by Yves Parlier, this self-stabilising wing is designed for just such an occasion, and he is currently heading downwind towards the Caribbean islands.
Today is bittersweet. I'm at 37 degrees north, and that means I'm getting closer to home, but it also means it's getting colder, and I'm going to have to say goodbye to my trusty friends, my Gill Sun shirt and my Kiwi shorts. It's time, my friends. You've done your duty. I'm going to have to get dressed. It's nice to be fully dressed, because I think the conditions deserve it.
We're fully launched in this last depression. About 150 miles to go before the Azores exclusion zone, and excitingly 1,500 miles to go to the finish. 30 to 35 knots of wind, 17 to 27 knots of boat speed, so we are trucking along. And a good thing too, finally, because we've got this really intense group of boats. a bunch of dagger boards, 4 of us, with Jean Tanguy, Benjamin and myself, and then foilers. We've got Damien en Epicule, Isabelle on MASCF, wait, that's right, and then Giancarlo Pedotti. So it's this really cool group, and unfortunately, and maybe this is also exciting, but I've got the slowest boat in the fleet here. Jean has a new daggerboard boat. Benjamin has a boat from 2012, which is the Magic boat. It's the Massif that won in 2012, and was SMR in 2016. Just this wickedly fast daggerboard boat. So he's demonstrated all the way through this race that he can just put on the afterburners and go. Wow, it's hard to stay sitting. Never would have thought that making YouTube videos would be a contact sport. So what I'm saying is, Tanguy and I have got the similar boats from 2008, and they're the slowest ones in this group of 7. And I should really be calling myself Icarus at the moment. You know, the Greek god that got a little too close to the sun, because I tried to do this sort of inside line on everybody going around the anticyclone, and I ended up sort of getting stuck in lighter winds than anticipated, and wasn't able to do the jump to the north that Barge and Tanguy did. So kind of trailing a little bit at the moment, but I'm doing my very best. We've got the small Jenica, 1 reef in the main, and as you can see, full speed ahead. And with 1,500 miles to go, Tanguy is 100 miles ahead of me. So basically, I need to try and do 3/4 of a knot faster than him in order to catch him by the finish line. And from what I have come to understand from watching his videos, is that he's missing a couple of sails, and so depending on the conditions, I may just be able to do that. So basically we've got 5 days of an all-out sprint, bare-knuckle brawl between Tanguy and myself. He's a bit of a sweetheart, so I don't want to get into a brawl with him, and he's a faster runner than I am on land, so anyway, bad metaphor. Point is, it's going to be a fight all the way to the finish, and I cannot wait. 30,000 miles of racing, 1,500 mile sprint at the end, 7 boats all lined up. Let's go.
はい、1月の30日です。とにかくここ 2,3 日激しいセーリングが続いています。ちょうど、アビームぐらいですかね。スピードも20ノットぐらい、出てるので、かなり船が楽しみます。船内もね、いろんな今までにないところが壊れています。トレロだったりね、電気系統だったり、今まで壊れなかったところがね、ぶち飛んでおります。はい、ということで激しいセーリングが続いていますが、なんとか北上をしております。はい、なんとかね、もうちょっとこの、グローバル1号が、持ってくれればなと思っております。でもね、だいぶ涼しくなって、今26度ぐらいかな。だいぶ涼しくなって過ごしやすくなってきました。それはいいことだなと思ってます。とにかく、これ以上船をね、壊さないで、頑張って走りたいと思います。それではチャオ。
On the tracker, we can see that Roman Atanasio is making good pace across the Atlantic, and he has taken a hitch north to stay with this pressure system. And if we look forward 24 hours, we can see how this low pressure system continues to make its way east, so he should be able to use that as he carries on towards Les Sables d'Olonne. He has just 700 nautical miles to go now, so he should be finishing hopefully within the next 2 to 3 days. The group from 15th to 22nd are still very tightly packed just to the north of the Azores exclusion zone, and we've got at the front Damien Seguin making 20.4 knots in 15th place, really good pace there, and just at the back we've got Giancarlo Pedote and Conrad Coleman in 22nd. The group from 23rd onwards is led by Girek Sode, followed by Kojiro Shiraishi, who we just heard for, then we've got Louis Duc, and then Violet d'Orange, Sebastian Marseille, and we can see Arnaud Boissières, who's aiming towards the Caribbean, as we saw in the video, together with his LibertyKite. In 29th place, Antoine Cornic has just crossed the equator back into the northern hemisphere, and then we've got Oliver Heer on Tudkut, who we will get an update from shortly, Jinkun Zhu, and then a bit further south we have got Manuel Cousin, Fabrice Amadeo, and Dennis van Weenberg. On the leaderboard at 0600 hours UTC, we're going to look at this group between 15th and 22nd place. Damien Seguin in 15th to Conrad Coleman in 22nd is separated by just 160 nautical miles, with between 1,156 and 1,316 nautical miles to go. This means in a few days' time we are going to have a flurry of finishers really close together, and Les Sables d'Olonne is going to completely come alive once again. Sailworld.com's New Zealand editor Richard Gladwell has done the PredictWind routing options for Damien Seguin in 15th, and it looks first of all like using that low pressure system as he makes his way east, but there are options in the Bay of Biscay, and with that group so tightly packed, those could be critical in the coming days.
Hello everyone, making my way up the South Atlantic, about 800 miles away from the equator. It's a beautiful day, quite nice sailing, but the conditions are not that easy. There are lots of clouds around. I want to show you this. So as you can see, to leeward and just ahead, blue sky, only a couple of fair weather clouds, but then there are lots of squalls around, very powerful clouds. I just sailed through a big bend behind me, so it's really not that easy to sail. But the upside is I do good average speeds, and I'm sailing exactly where I should be, which is due north, and I'm also enjoying a bit of sunshine, a bit of the heat, because I know very well that in about 10 days time I will be putting on my socks and my thermals again for the approach to Les Sables d'Olonne. Have a great weekend everyone. I'll give you an update again tomorrow. Cheers, bye bye.
Thank you for watching today. We're going to continue bringing you the latest news from the Vendée Globe and a lot more from the world of sailing. So please do subscribe to our channel using the button down here, and always take a look at sailworld.com and yachtyachting.com, where we have so much more from the sailing world.